This is the next video on the DTR. Taking the engine out, slacken that, because sometimes they're hard to slacken when the engine's out, but it's Allen key. The normally screws what are hard to get out. There was an earth on there, I don't know where it's at, but it was two, there it is down there, it was like two wires there, that was right around there, but I'll take the oil pipe out of there and plug it up to take this off, pop this little oil pipe off. It doesn't even look like it's on properly anyway, so I'll just pop that off as well, pop this out. But what I did notice, I was on taking this side casing off, and I see down there the little neutral switch. And every time I've tested it, I don't know, but if you watch my other video, I never checked that it had a neutral light, but it's in neutral now, and it hasn't got a neutral. So when the casing's off, I'm going to rig that neutral thing up and see if the neutral light comes on. So just get the rest of that case off, and whatever else I've got to get off. And that's nearly everything off. I've just got to take the flywheel off, then take the stator off, and I'll cable tie the stator up here somewhere instead of unplugging everything. That's the way I do it, it's easier. Got to take the chain off. That's what I was going to show. There's the thing, there's the neutral light. The neutral light screw, should be in there. But anyway, put the neutral light there. See it. I'll leave the camera there. I'm resting. There. When I touch this metal thing onto the neutral, you'll see neutral come on. See there. That's when I'm touching the neutral wire. So now it's got a neutral. Once I put a little screw in, it'll have a neutral light on the dash. So next I'm just going to put the flywheel splitter onto that, now that I've tested that out to make sure the neutral switch worked onto there. That'll need bang through, but I've slackened that off. Front bolts out. I'm coming to take this off now, that's why I'm around this end. Like I say, the chain and the flywheel next, and the stator, then the engine will lift out. Now the chain's off, front sprocket's off, while it's in the engine, easy to get off. Now I'm just going to get the flywheel off. That's the flywheel puller. So just tighten that and extract this, pull it off. So I'll just do that now. That's the flywheel popped off. Just remember that comes off, that goes in there behind the bolt. So put that in the tub. Just put the flywheel off. That's inside the flywheel. It's all good. There's the stator. Now, with two screws keeping it in, that one there and that one up there. I take them two out, take the stator out, and like I said before, cable tie the stator up here so I don't have to unplug none of the wires, and it's much easier. So I'll get the stator out now. So that's the two bolts out to hold the stator in. Now I'm just gonna, that wire's wrapped around the clutch arm, just unwrap that, pop this out, grab the stator, and then I'll tie the stator up there with a cable tie. So there's only the back spindle to pop out now, then the engine will lift out. So I'll go and get a cable tie cable that on there. Just put it down there for the time being, gently. It's best to check your woodruff key as well. If your woodruff key's slack like that, sometimes they're tight and they don't move. If it's slack like that, take it out and put it in your flywheel. Flywheel's magnetic and you'll not lose it. And another tip, if you ever try to take your swinging arm bolt out and the engine mount's still in, tightened up, the swinging arm bolt's hard to get through. But if you slacken that engine mount and the one over the other side under the gear stick, but this didn't have one in, slacken them, it's much easier to push the back spindle through. But when I push it through, I'll be pushing it just, you can just see it sit, you can't really see, be pushing it so it sits just in the swinging arm, not all the way out, so the swinging arm's still on the bike. That's the state of the cable tied on now. Just out the way, it saves unclipping everything, all the wires. Just take it out and tie it up the out the way. Still got that on as well. This, the way to see with them, and it's got the rubber on the tank as well. But anyway, I'm going to bang the swinging arm bolt out now, and then lift the engine out from that side, from this side here. So that's everything slackened on the engine. All I've got to do is take that oil pipe off and take the little black pipe off. I'll plug that oil pipe up with a bolt because it's got oil in. And then I'll just pull the swinging arm out to how far it needs to go. Like I see, it still needs to stay into the swinging arm. Like the swinging arm bit, what it goes into is about that fat. Once it passes through the back of the engine, so we keep about that much of the spindle into there, and it'll keep all the swinging arm and the frame the way it is now. And I can just lift the engine out. So I'll block them pipes up and get that spindle out a little bit more, then lift the engine out. And when I took the oil pump off the tube there, no oil come out for ages. No, it's just air. So I don't know, it hasn't been bled. Like you pull that off to bleed it. People will know who do DDs, but I don't know what not bleeding it properly would cause. If that might cause the damage to the top end, the lack of oil. But anyway, I've got this swinging arm bolt out as far as I need to get it. And now the engine will just lift out because it's this bolt's past the back of the engine now and just resting in the swinging arm. So you just lift the front end up first, then slide the back end out. And the engine's out now. And that's what I was meaning about the spindle. When you push the spindle, make sure maybe it just comes to here. So it's past the back of the engine. Just so you can get the engine out. And like I see, it lifts up front ways first, then you just pull it out. Sometimes it's tight on the back, but comes out that way. You always lift the front up. That's the engine in here. I slapped on the flywheel nut when it was on the bike. The kickstart nut when it was on the bike. Just for easiness. I'm going to get the gear stick off. Just get everything off I can. So it's easy for them. But look, there's some more oil. What's tipped out, that milky stuff. Milky grey stuff. Anyway, we'll get this off. That's the gear stick off. Just put the nut back in so you don't lose it. Just put that over that milky oil. So when I tip the engine back over, it's not in that grey oil what I showed before. Now we're going to get the reeds off in the inlet. That's the bolt slack. So we'll just lift the reeds off now. That's there. But like everything on this bike, them bolts were slack. The bottom barrel bolts were slack, the head bolts were slack. So when I think it was running, I think there's a gasket missing from here. No, there's not. When I think it was running, it would be something in there. Can't really tell by there. If there's any gaps for the reeds, I can't see not hold it up to the light. I don't know what that black thing is. Just a bit of muck. Look close up, because I'm just looking at my phone. This left pedal, it's got a little bit dirt under, but I'll take them to bits anyway and clean them so there'll be no dirt. But anyway, that's them out. Try and think what else I can take out before tomorrow, what'll make things easier. This clutch arm just slides out. There'll just be a washer underneath it. I can get the spring out, get a pick, and that's that out. And nearly all dt125r casings are smashed on here, and this spring doesn't fit into the casing, but like it hooks around the back there, on the back here. You'll see before, just when I was talking about it 10 seconds ago, you'll see where the spring hooked before pulled off. Anyway, people think that when the return spring doesn't fit onto here because it's snapped. I think it fits on there, I'm not too sure. But when it fits on here, anyway, when it's snapped, it doesn't matter, because when the clutch plates is on and the clutch basket, when you pull the clutch in, the springs are coming out, and so it's moving that whichever way it's meant to move. But then when you're letting the clutch back off, this is springing back anyway because of the clutch plates in here. So you don't really worry about the return spring not being fitting on the casing, because this casing is snapped. I've got tons upstairs snapped anyway, it'll come off. There's that, there's the washer. This is a thin washer. Just put it down there with them bits. Now I've got everything off what I can, what'll not make banging noise. I'm just going to tilt the engine and get this clutch casing off and the water pump casing, and then I'll start on the engine on the inside tomorrow, because like I say, it's too late to bang on now. So that's the engine tilted. Like I say, I'm going to take all the bolts out and get this case off, get this off. I've loosened the bolt out of there, what goes into here, but I might take that out and just pop that out while it's like this, because I've got the seal kit and it's got the O-ring in, what goes in there, because I might not even have an O-ring in. But we'll get this off now. That's the water pump casing off. I've put the bolt back on the top. Just make sure it's got that stopper there at the top. And that stopper there, it just lines the casing on when you put it on, so it's not wonky. All these bolts are slack, but I've just left them in the holes so they don't drop out when I pull this casing off, which it's come off. And then I'm just going to put it down there on that bit of clean cardboard and just leave it so I don't get the bolts muddled up. But I don't know what size they are anyway. But that's all on earth there. It's just sitting there with all the bolts. Right, I can move that out of the way. I'll find out what these two bolts are. Oh, these are from the water pump. So I'll just keep them there. We'll have a look at this. Oh, it looks good inside, to be honest. Setting it on the clutch, that's set properly. how I set them anyway. There's a little washing machine off there. Normally drops out when you split the cases, so it might be underneath here. Just have a check. No, it's missing. There's two on them. There's one exactly the same on the other side of this speedo drive cog. Anyway, I'll just leave it for tonight. I can't get nothing more off without making noise. So that's it up to now anyway. I'll strip the rest of my road, get the main bearings in, put it back together and put it back into the bike. Alright. Oh, one last thing, I popped that off, the water pump, and it did have the seal on. You can see the black O-ring, but there's a new one in the gasket set. So anyway, thanks for watching.